Okay, Zeke, in your parting words last night, you said, I will forever be a better person because I played Survivor. What did you actually mean by that?
Oh, thanks for asking. I think I meant a couple of things. And I think first that, Survivor really strengthened these qualities of adaptability and resilience in me. And taught me to, I think, believe in myself in a way that I hadn't believed in myself in a long time. And I think there was a fear and a trepidation with which I approached the world before I played Survivor, and I don't have that anymore. As a kid, I always thought I can do whatever I want to do. And then, I transitioning was really difficult, and it knocked me down a peg. And I think I believed that there were doors that were closed to me because I wasn't strong enough to bust them open. And Survivor taught me that I have all the strength I need to knock down any doors which might stand in my way.
Wow. That's a great story. We're a big, prediction website at Gold Derby. We cover Survivor and the Emmys and everything. The fact that the Emmys ignore Survivor every year is really, really frustrating for us because, people like you and everything you just said is absolutely incredible. I hope Emmy voters are listening to this interview.
Me too. Look, I love the people who make Survivor. I think they are, to a person, tremendous. From the, assistant camera guy who carries a 50-pound pack on his back, walking backwards in the sand in the hot sun for 12 hours, up to the man himself, Jeff Probst. The people who make the show are committed to amazing storytelling. And, I've been gushing about Jeff for about 3 weeks now, and I'm afraid if I continue to do so that his wife is going to have me executed. But I think Jeff is the greatest leader I've ever witnessed. And the commitment that he has shown to me over these past 9 months to handle, one of the most significant of my life with the utmost care and respect, and to allow me and lay the groundwork for me to tell my story on my terms. I've been so impressed with him, and I was a huge Survivor fan before, and I didn't know that I could be a bigger fan, but I really am. Everyone who is a part of the Survivor family is really incredible, and I feel so proud to have been part of these past 2 seasons.
You were involved in one of the most talked about moments probably in Survivor history. Is there anything you haven't gotten the chance to say yet about the Jeff Varner moment that you would like your fans to know? I know you wrote that really, really beautiful piece on, was it The Hollywood Reporter?
Yes. Thank you so much. Look, for me, what Jeff Varner did had the potential to be something, a really dark moment. But it wasn't, and for one reason, and that's the response of my tribe mates. They really showed what tremendous humans they were in that moment, that they responded so quickly and so passionately and came to my defense. That it's a case study in how you should respond to injustice. And I think that it's a diverse group of people. It's a group of people with very different experiences with transgender people. And I think their humanity spoke volumes. And I think one of my hopes for that moment has always been that this can mark a change in how transgender people are treated. And I think, demonstrates the dignity and respect with which trans people should be treated in this country.
And this happened, I guess, 11 months ago. In that time, have you met up with Jeff Varner? Have you chatted with him, or will the finale in a few weeks be the first time you'll actually see him?
Well, we've spoken a few times, but I would say our relationship it's a work in progress, and I think at this point best kept between the two of us and not played out in the press.
Perfect. Well, let's talk about your elimination, because a lot of people were shocked. My mom even texted me, and she's like, they made a dumb move. Was there any point leading up to that vote that you thought you were a goner, or was this 100% a blindside?
Oh, it was 100% a blindside. Look, my game lived and died with Sarah Lucina, and she told me we were voting for Sierra Dawn Thomas, and that's what I believed. But I also sort of knew that my time in the game was pretty limited, and that it was either Sarah Lucina was telling me the truth or I was going home. And look, I don't know if it was the best move for everyone who voted for me, but I certainly think it was the best move for Andrea. because I was putting a coalition of people to vote her out the very next vote. And, kudos to her for getting me first. I think she proved her power as a Survivor player.
Why could you not work with Andrea? I guess this started back a few weeks ago, right after the merge, where you kind of came after her. Was it just because she was such a good player and she knew you were such a good player, so you couldn't coexist together?
No, I don't think it was that. So, there was a bit of a fallout from the Varner incident, and that was, no one had a problem with me being trans, but now I did have this compelling story that people were concerned about, and I sort of stopped being a person people were interested in going with deep into the game, and I felt that pretty quickly. And I felt it because people stopped coming to me to have strategic conversations. I sort of had to chase people down, and Andrea and I had been really close. I thought, we were friends, and I thought, we were friends, and we continued to be friends. But when I saw that she and Sari were sort of running off in the woods with Aubrey, I felt that, I wasn't going very far with them. And like I mentioned, my tightest ally was Sarah Lucina, and we sort of looked at, do we want to go with Andrea and Sari, or do we want to go with Brad and Sierra? And we thought we had better prospects going with Brad and Sierra. So I made the decision to come after Andrea collectively with Sarah and with Debbie. I think there was some complicated social politics going on, and I approached Sierra Dawn Thomas, and I thought she'd already knew that I was going to come talk to her. I thought Debbie was going to tell her that, but that clearly had not happened, and I sort of got played by Debbie. And then, so yeah, it wasn't just me who turned on Andrea. It was Sarah and me who turned on Andrea, but all of Andrea's vitriol came towards me, even though it was done by both Sarah and myself.
Last night, it looks like you and Ty voted for Sierra. But what were these 3 tie votes? Why did, I guess it was Brad and Sierra and Troyzan vote for Ty? Is it because, did Andrea tell them,
well,
hey,
Well, what we were worried that Ty might have an idol, or that someone might have an idol in that 4, which was on the bottom. So we didn't want to give them a name, because we thought if we gave them a name, they might be able to calculate who the vote was going to. So we just said, pick someone to vote for and vote for them. Pick someone amongst the 4 of you to vote for. And, and I think the 6 of us, obviously the vote was for me, but the conversations I was a part of was, do we vote for Sierra or do we vote for Ty? And we picked Sierra because we figured Ty would have an idol and would be most likely to play it for himself. But yes, that's what we told the 4 on the bottom.
I gotta say, if I was Ty, I would have used one of my 2 idols. I cannot believe he held on to both of those. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see Ty never trusted me from the second we got out there, so I don't know I don't know a lot about Ty's game, but I would assume that Ty had working relationships with those 5 who voted for me, who told him that he was going to be safe.
I think you're getting a phone call there.
Someone's buzzing into my apartment, but
gotcha.
I'm not planning any visitors.
It's Jeff Probst coming to say hello.
Hi. Hey, that's so dreamy.
At our website, we are predicting who's going to win, and for the past few weeks, people seem convinced that Sarah has what it takes to win this game. So my question to you, what is Sarah doing right that some of these other folks are doing wrong?
Well, I think what Sarah's doing right is that Sarah's driving the action. Sarah has been a determining factor in every single vote that you have seen thus far, but nobody knows it. I think Andrea's rage towards me, is sort of, inappropriately coloring her game, because while she's mad at me, I'm not doing anything, I don't have any power. And Sarah Lucina is making power move after power move, and no one is calling her out as a threat.
I was a fan of her back in the season where she was frenemies with Tony, so I'm happy to see she's doing so well this time.
Yeah, I love Sarah dearly. We're great friends, and I just can't say enough great things about her.
Well, I know you're a busy man today. You have many more interviews to do. But I guess the question everyone wants to know, will we see Zeke in a 3rd season of Survivor?
I don't know. You know, Survivor has, I think, really expanded my horizons, and I'm excited to embark upon some new adventures. But I don't know if another trip on Survivor is in the cards.
Well, we hope so. We are rooting for you to come back
we'll see.
someday.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye, Zeke.